It was here at the Bataclan Theatre in Paris 9 days ago that more than 1,000 people were dancing to an American rock band. But at 9:40 p.m, the music stopped when terrorists walked in and opened fire. Australian teenager Emma Parkinson was at the concert. The beautiful 19-year-old immediately hit the ground with everyone else before she realised that if she was going to survive, she would have to make a run for it. In her bid for freedom, Emma was shot. This is Emma's remarkable story. Emma, there's a whole country that wants to know, are you okay?
All things considered, I'm doing pretty well. Pretty excellent.
You look pretty good for a girl who's been, how do I say this, shot in the bottom.
I've been saying that it's more of a pain in the arse than anything else.
So tell me about that day. Take me back to Friday the 13th.
Yeah, well, I only got the tickets for the concert that day, about 3 hours before, because it had been sold out for a few months, but I found someone on Facebook who, yeah. Then I think I rang my mum from a Starbucks using the free Wi-Fi. Traveller's life, free Wi-Fi, gold. Yeah, just excited. Went home, got changed, got on the metro. Yeah, went to the concert.
So where were you in the Bataclan?
I was in the audience, about 3 people back from the stage.
That close?
Yes.
There's an image of the lead guitarist of the band. He's standing there, he's playing, and he looks around in confusion because he's hearing this dreadful noise.
I thought for a second, someone had fireworks. You know, like just little fireworks that you buy at the supermarket. And I remember thinking, what an idiot, who does that at a concert? But I remember thinking that something wasn't right and trying to drop down to the ground. And it didn't take long for other people to do that as well. So, and I looked back at one point and that's just a really weird image, just almost 1,000 people just on the floor. Like that in a concert hall.
What goes through your mind?
It was strangely logical. I remember being there on the ground, everyone else was, and I remember seeing the person in front of me who had their arms a bit up like that, and I stuck my head underneath his body and he's like got me, and everyone was just sort of trying to keep the important bits covered.
Is there still firing?
And cover, yes. I had the impression that it was one person on the balcony, and then I heard another gun from a different place, and I thought that it may have been the police, and I remember thinking, oh good, it's going to be gotten under control and we'll walk out. And at this point we're still all on the floor, which retrospectively maybe wasn't the best thing because they were above us. It doesn't matter if you're standing or... But everyone was just sort of on the floor trying to keep covered and keep calm, and they would fire and then it would stop for, I don't know, 5 seconds maybe, and we'd think it was over and people would start putting their heads up, like looking around, and then it would start again and everyone would get back down. And then at one moment, one person yelled that we should run. And I don't know if we would have if that person hadn't said, and of course he was right, you can't just wait there. So I ran towards the barrier. You know how there's always like stage, barrier, and then like media people, photographers.
Where are the shooters?
I had the impression that they were on the balcony. Like concert hall.
Above
balcony
you?
Area above me, yes.
Are you seeing people being killed around you?
No. It was quite dark because it's a concert venue. And to be honest, someone could have died right next to me and I probably wouldn't have realised because it was just people rushing and trying to get out. And I was just thinking of trying to get out.
Are people pushing?
Yes.
Shoving?
Yes.
I can imagine. It must have been terrifying.
yes, but any time that I've felt fear in the past, it's quite a visceral experience. It's very physical. Your heart beats and you lose control. I didn't feel like that at all. I felt very logical in my actions and just thinking things through. I felt very calm.
And are you aware that people are being shot at that moment?
Of course. There's someone firing into the audience and you're standing in a room full of people. Of course people are being shot.
And there's screaming, obviously.
It was only the noise of those shots, and the woman behind me started crying. And she's the only person that I remember crying at that point, and she said something about how they were going to kill us all. And I ran towards this barrier and tried to jump over it, but I got stuck, sort of like bent over like that, because there were people around. I couldn't get my legs up. And that's when I was shot.
Tell me about that moment.
It just sort of came through my head. Okay, I've been shot. Did it hit anything important? Probably not. Got to keep going. And so I kept going.
At the moment that you're shot, tell us where, I mean, obviously I want to be discreet about this, but obviously you got shot in your bottom.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no getting around this. How did you not get hit in a very dangerous place?
Well, so you have the barrier here, and I was bent over it. So my legs down this way and my head, and my torso down this way. So it's something that I think of a lot is it's almost lucky that I got stuck, because all of the important things were protected. And maybe if I had have just jumped over and ran, I wouldn't be here, which is a strange thing to have in your head.
So basically, as you're bending over, trying to get over that barrier,
Yes.
what do you feel?
It's not as painful as you would think. It just felt like being slapped really hard. And I didn't know it was in my bum, actually, because I now know that I have it. The bullet went in sort of upper thigh and came out here, sort of on my hip.
It really was a lucky shot, yeah. That is an incredibly...
Well, for me, not for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're going to get shot anywhere...
Yeah, like no important arteries, no important organ, nothing. I'm incredibly lucky. But yeah, I only felt it here because, I had a hole in my jeans. There was blood coming out, but I knew that it wasn't a lot of blood.
So how do you get over the barrier once you've been shot?
I got over, and then I was kneeling on the ground, and I just pushed myself up and ran. Just followed everyone else.
Is there still shooting?
Yes.
And where's the exit?
I went out a stage door. So there was the stage and then a corridor here. So I ran through that corridor, and then as soon as I went down, I think I turned a corner and then there was a door. So I just ran through that door into a side street. There was no one that didn't have blood on them. Everyone was covered. I'm just seeing people running as fast as they could.
I'm told there's a moment when you start to actually realise what's happened. You've gone from that automatic reflex to the moment where you actually absorb the enormity of what's happening to you. Did that happen to you?
Yeah. We were running down this street and there was a building to the left with a door open. So me and a bunch of other people, I don't know how many, we run into this building and we're running up the stairs. And I was in the stairwell and it just hit me. I just grabbed the first person I saw and hugged them. And I think I was swearing a lot in English, so he knew that I was not French. And this guy just grabbed me and was saying, like, it's okay, it's over, you're going to be fine, you're safe, I'm going to save you, we will be safe. And then we got up the stairs and went into a corridor, and it was a residential building. So we were knocking on all the doors. And I think the people weren't there. No one opened them except for one woman at the end. And someone explained what had happened and asked if we could come in. And she was terrified. She was more terrified than we were at that time, I believe. And she said no, but she gave us water and sugar for, shock. But I think there were around 10 people in this corridor with me, and we waited there for the secu, the police, special police.
And is there still shooting going on?
Yes.
You take shelter for 2 hours. Tell me what you're hearing as you're lying there in the corridor.
Gunshots. By this time, the people in this corridor with me were trying to call the police and the ambulance. There was another woman to my right who'd been shot in the leg. She was lying down, and there was another man to my left who had been shot also. But we knew that so long as they didn't come into the building where we were, that we would be safe and that we'd get out.
But when you say you knew, you really didn't know, did you?
No.
So what's happening? What's going on in your mind at this time?
Like a mixture of fear and relief. I was terrified that they would come in to the building. I remember asking whether I should lie down or not, and they were like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I did. And then the guy who had helped me get up the stairs a bit, he gave me his jacket to rest my head on. We waited in silence for a while. Everyone was conscious of being quiet so that no one would come into the building where we were.
Tell me about when the police and the ambulances did arrive, because that's when you knew you were safe.
Yeah. Just incredible relief. I didn't notice it at the time, but every muscle in my body was tensed. And at that moment, I relaxed physically. And then, they carried me down the stairs and down an alley, or the street next door, and then sort of around a few corners. And they'd set up a triage unit in a cafe. So I went there. The fireman, by the way, has contacted me on Facebook to make sure that I was okay.
The guy who carried you down?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's really nice.
When was the moment that you discovered that the people that were trying to kill you were extremist Muslims?
I think it's an assumption that I made, which I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of assuming that fairly early on. And I think I knew it for sure a couple of days after when I saw a newspaper.
And when you find out that it was people who were trying to kill you, then why do you think they were trying to kill you?
They weren't trying to kill me. I have nothing to do with it. I was just incidentally there.
They were trying to kill you, though, Emma. If they'd had the opportunity, I'm sure they would have killed you.
Well, they weren't trying to kill me personally. They were trying to kill someone.
But why do you think they want to kill young people?
They were targeting young people who were having fun and laughing and being happy and doing what young people do. And I think that the only reason why you would want to target that specific demographic would be to incite hate, to incite fear, and to try and make people afraid and to escalate problems that already exist in this country and I think in every other Western country to do with racism. And those people must have been sick. No healthy person, no sane person can walk into a room full of people having fun and start shooting at them.
I think, let me take you a little back. You met somebody nice, didn't you, just before the concert that day?
It was actually 2 days before.
2 days before?
Yes.
So tell me about it.
I met a very beautiful French man.
And tell me what you guys did.
Well, we met up at the Place de la Concorde, which is like a tourist attraction. It's very beautiful. And we tried to go into the Louvre. And we went like down the big staircase under the big glass pyramid. And I remember us both just being like, it's empty. This is amazing. I've never seen it empty before. Like,
you ended up dancing around the Louvre with that young fella.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
It's a beautiful image.
And like dancing along the banks of the Seine, just having fun, being young.
Is that the image you'll take away from Paris?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You won't take away the image of the Bataclan nightclub on Friday the 13th, 2015?
I'll take away both of them, but I don't think either one lessens the impact of the other. Also, just the reaction of the French people to not only this specific thing, but just adversity in general, I think is one of solidarity. And to band together and to know that we can get through this.
There's something beautiful about this town, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think that personally, my reaction to things like this is not to close myself up, but to be more open and just... I like getting to know people. I like talking to people. And I am lucky enough that I can continue to do that.
Hello, I'm Adam Hegarty. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.